Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, in his speech at the recent seminar conducted by the Kerala CPIM in Kannur, firmly put forward his views on collaboration and cooperation among the states, saying, "We must organize a collective of states to fight, to resist. We must form a collective of the chief ministers of the South India and then form a collective of chief ministers from all the states of India separately." The statement was made against a series of policy decisions and the political actions taken by the BJP-led union government in recent years. The BJP is systematically undermining the rights of the states through financial powers, uniform policies, and the governors who are acting as the pseudo-heads of the states. This clarion call for a collective of states is made against the background of a consistent actions of the BJP government that are an affront to the federal features of a constitution. At every conceivable opportunity, the BJP has undermined the rights of the states and usurped their powers using the brutal majority they have in the Lok Sabha. Some states that used to oppose the suppression of the state autonomy in the past remain mute today. This has left us with only some states that are ruled by the non-BJP parties to continue this fight and struggle against the anti-federal and anti-constitutional actions of the BJP-led union government. Any incremental progress that was made in the last 60 years to ensure states' rights has been completely wiped out in the last 7 years. What is worrisome is the aggressive push of the BJP to reset the established constitutional principles on the state autonomy. If immediate steps are not taken by the regional parties to counter the Hindi-Hindutva imperialism of the BJP, there will be some irreversible damage to the plurality and the diversity of this nation. It is regrettable that we have to live through the relevance of what Pera Ringaranna, the founder of DMK party, had famously said in the 1962 in the Rajya Sabha, and how it is applicable even in today's political context. He said, "But the moment we are denied a steel plant, the moment you are denied a new railway line, the moment we are denied an oil refinery, the man in the street is going to get up and say, 'This is the way of Delhi. This is the way of northern imperialism, and unless you come out of the imperialism, you are not going to make your country safe.'" History is repeating itself. Tamil Nadu and the other states that are not ruled by the BJP are facing the same predicament now. For example, in the 2022-23 budget, the union government has allocated a sum of rupees 13,200 crores for the northern railways, whereas the amount earmarked for the southern railway is only around rupees 59 crore. The disparity is alarming unless quip comes handy. North is flourishing while the South is waning. The budget is a testimony to how the BJP is pandering only to the Hindi-speaking population and distributing more funds for their cause at the expense of the high GDP contributing southern states. Its policies are aimed at promoting the schemes for the northern states. For every 1 rupee contributed by the states in a country, Uttar Pradesh receives rupees 1.79 while Tamil Nadu receives only rupees 0.45. In 2018, Stalin wrote to 10 chief ministers lamenting on the terms of the references of the 15th Finance Commission, which led to the inequitable distribution of the central taxes to the states. The biased treatment of the states based on political patronage has to be nipped. This can be addressed and remedied only if there is a united front from various state governments. The BJP's grand vision is to homogenize the entire country. It can be gauged by its toxic obsession with the words one and oneness. It wants to conveniently suppress the fact that India is more in the nature of a subcontinent geographically, demographically, and linguistically. This attempt at homogenizing is bound to create disastrous consequences for the future of a country and the very idea of India envisioned by our forefathers. The party proposes to implement schemes conceived from the confines of the Lok Kalyan Marg in New Delhi across the length and the breadth of the country without any forethought about its relevance or impact in all the other places. To enforce the policy decisions of the union government at the state level, the governors of the opposition-ruled states are trying to act as a super chief ministers, clearly breaching the propriety and the decorum that is expected from them. There are many instances in the recent past on how the governors in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, West Bengal and Maharashtra acted not in consonance with the state government but rather expressing their dissent to actions that are in contrast to the BJP policies and initiatives. Even after the unequivocal condemnation of the actions of the Tamil Nadu governor by the Supreme Court in sitting over the recommendations of the state cabinet, the present Tamil Nadu governor has the temerity to continue to do so. The BJP uses the office of the governor to stall the democratic functioning of the state governments. With every passing day, the union government is misusing institutions and taking away their independence. It is also curbing parliamentary debates on critical social and economical issues, interfering in the state affairs, and distracting the people from mainstream problems and challenges by diverting their attention to trivial issues like that of food practices, choice of clothing, etc. In the present Indian context, what we require is an active collaboration and cooperation on the basis of cultural ideology. This collective of states can act as a bulwark against the authoritarian policies of the union government that takes away the rights of the states guaranteed by our constitution. The collective of states will be able to garner and mobilize public opinions simultaneously across the states, which will be very hard to ignore. When chief ministers rather than the political parties come together, it will be a formidable combination. However, a lot of work has to be done to build the framework, its structure, the format, the responsibilities and the duties. Not the least is the persistence and the commitment to the cause. The idea has germinated now and it is certain to bloom.